Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Ritt. I'm an artist and a tarot reader, and today's reading is full, and I want to say it's evolved because I pulled some cards a short time ago and I actually recognized that I wasn't in quite the right place to read. And so what I've pulled this time around feels different from what I pulled just a short time ago. So yeah, I feel as if we are in the process of transitioning out of situations where we had no control. And there is this feeling that we are making a fresh start for ourselves and also just taking advantage of new opportunities that are a little bit more in the foreground than they were just a short time ago. So with the present energy, we have the Empress. Now this is creative abundance. This is that feeling you get when you know that you have everything you need and more to really feel good within yourself and about your ability to create and to thrive. It's so often this feels like energy that speaks to internal wealth, but there is also that component of being able to manifest. It's I believe it's Venus energy, which corresponds with Taurus. So there's that feeling of, well, sensual abundance, because Taurus is an earth sign. So this very much feels like, well, the words that are coming to me are interesting. It's so, there's a feeling of, and there's a little bit here, I believe this is wheat that she's growing. This is an interesting version of the Empress, because in other decks, there's a lot more kind of lushness in the greenery that's happening, but here there's still some of that. It's like bringing things to fruition, and also there's that Ankh on her shield, so there's that message of eternal life. So there's a lot of life force, life flow, the way that giving birth is an act of creation. I know that in some decks she's depicted as pregnant, so there's just this feeling of right now is a time that's pregnant with possibility. And I recognize that I've just come fresh from another reader who I really enjoy on YouTube, Baba Jolie. So there's a lot of optimism in that reading alone, but it's also here. I feel like there's just, this is an energy that speaks to the optimism of our abundant creativity, ability to bring forth new possibilities, and really manifest in new ways. There is that connection between internal wealth and external possibility going on with this energy. 3 is also the number of communication, so creative expression here. I definitely have an affinity with this energy as a creator myself, and as somebody who loves to communicate in a lot of different ways through different mediums. That's Empress energy. A lot of times this energy speaks to artists and other creators who we have that wealth of creative ability that's inherent to who we are. So this is really at the forefront of this reading, because this is in the present position. So we have this energy, and then we also have 9 of rods or wands. They're the same, they're the fire element. Now this is an energy that often speaks to moving on or turning a corner. There's a feeling of, interesting, the word that's coming to me is fortitude. That's an interesting one. Also protected. Protected is the word that's coming to me. I know a different reader, Gemstone Tarot, talks about Nine of Wands as being a wall, so wall-like. And what's coming to me here with the Empress is that feeling of almost like a garden gate. There's just and yeah, I wonder if it's our ability to protect ourselves, to draw different boundaries, to even to shift our perspective around boundaries, because 9 speaks to perspective. 9 is the number of vision. So there's that visionary element that's inherent within this creative energy. And there's also that theme of perspective. And so shifting our perspective around possibility, and also around our ability to maybe draw different parameters around our means of creative expression. So recognizing that we're kind of a powerhouse of possibility here, but also that we can shift our boundaries, redraw our boundaries, kind of shape and reshape those gateways to the world that we're creating, if that makes sense. It's a very interesting message here. So yeah, it feels like through creative possibilities, and maybe what it is too is that we're able to draw that line that kind of says we've come from difficulty, but we don't have to let that feeling of being out of control reach into our current place of abundance or possibilities going forward. Because in the past position you have 4 of Pentacles, and it's reversed here. This is a card that speaks to grappling for control. And Pentacles are earth. So there can be that feeling of trying very hard to control situations, real world situations, situations that we recognize the players in these situations, or we recognize the limitations is actually what's coming to me. This is a card that can speak directly to limitations and trying to control things from a limited place. And so here there's just that feeling of no way out, in the way that the Swords cards, which speak so much to the air element and the mind, can represent the limitations of the mind. Here it feels as if this energy is continued, even as it's earth, not air, but through trying to hold on to things in very tangible ways, situations and things that we can point to. I definitely recognize this in my own life. And so it feels as if we're drawing different parameters around what those were and how we can move past them through our creative energy here. And then going forward, we have the Fool. Now this is all about newness and possibility and leap of faith, jumping into new territory in ways that are exciting and kind of freeform is the word that's coming to me. There's a need to really trust that we're moving in the right direction as we find ourselves moving in the right direction without necessarily the forethought, because this is not about forethought and planning. This is purity of heart venturing forward, kind of impulsively or intuitively. So that's interesting, because it feels as if maybe we've had to boundary ourselves from the stuff that we've been through, right? Or just, again, draw that line that says, okay, that was what it was, and I'm going forward, And then this almost feels limitless, So limitless going forward, which I recognize that was in a different reading, that the possibility of just wide open. So we have that. And then the other two cards speak to opportunities. So here again, we have Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles are earth. This card speaks inherently to opportunity that's, and I'm thinking of tarot teachings here, that's presented to us in some way. And again, opportunity that you can point to and really acknowledge as tangible in some way. Here it's reversed. I feel as if it's that much more within our awareness. And next to Four of Cups, reversed. Now this is also a card, especially in the reverse position. Here you have water, you know, this person is contemplating, they're not really able to see the opportunity that's being presented to them. And there's a time and a place for that, right? But here it feels as if the opposite of that applies. So there's that feeling of, we're going to be taking advantage of these opportunities that are upcoming. And that's really exciting. So yeah, so what I'm getting is we're planting seeds, you know, we're letting things germinate. And it's not going to be long before we recognize what's growing and we harvest it. You know, there's that. There's kind of that feeling of harvest here. And interesting too, because the Fool is actually looking out at Four of Pentacles reversed. And both of them speak to a kind of free fall, right? I mean, this is like earth giving way beneath you and not being able to control, you know, where this is consciously leaping forward in new direction. And that's exciting because even as there's such a need for faith that we're going to land in the right place, everything's going to be okay, there's that purity of intention behind this that's so polar opposite to struggling and falling and struggling and failing and feeling. Again, for me, this is exact opposite of purity of intention. It's grappling for a control that we can never really fully have. So things are evolving for us. And then with the artwork I pulled, I almost feel as if that purity of intention carries over with this really beautiful little, it's kind of a little orb figure here. And yeah, the message that I'm getting actually is that from our purity of intention, you know, that you have here with the Fool and this beautiful white flower, that whiteness speaks to that purity as well. And from that purity, you know, a lot of other activity is going to spring up. It feels as if everything kind of evolves from, there we go, you can see it a little bit better tilted. Everything kind of evolves from a different place that speaks to purity of intention. It feels as if this is kind of the, speaking of giving birth and this pregnant with possibility energy, it feels as if that purity of intention is kind of the birthing place that gives life to all of this other possibility. I feel as if there's just a lot of activity and purpose and really intentional things, that kind of creations that spring forth from our purity of intention here. So I'm getting that, and then I'm also getting this artwork, which the words that are coming to me here too are solid structure. So again, solid structure that houses that same kind of pure energy. So it's like, yeah, it feels as if there's a lot being birthed forward here, you know? And this is like divine inspiration. You know, it's just there's something so pure about it, and so freeing, so fruitful. Both of those things. And then here it's as if the structure becomes more solid. So this energy that's so there's motion around this. You know, there's a lot kind of being birthed. You know, this birthing energy gives way to more solid structures that we're then able to build for ourselves, that still kind of house and honor this beautiful divine energy. And we have a success with that, and we have a thinking about the three, actually, the red shapes that come in threes are standing out to me, and I do feel like it's birthed from our ability to communicate our divine creative intentions. It's exciting the way this message comes through for me, that this is a very solid structure that we are building for ourselves here, that again, that came from, I feel like that came from a leap forward here. I mean, the other really cool thing about this that I'm just now noticing is the way this forms an exclamation point. You know, there's a lot of excitement in this. There's a lot of freedom. There's a lot of heart. There's a lot of heart and soul in this, again, from this place of birth, from these origins. There's just a lot of, it's both a kind of a purity and also a vigor, and maybe a little bit frenetic, but it the motion within this, the excitement within this birth, makes way for something even bigger and grander and that much more solid, that again, that honors our divine intentions. So how beautiful is that? Yeah, so this turned out to be another very exciting reading, and I feel as if a few of these with similar themes have come through me, and what it feels like is, well, the message I'm getting too is these are exciting times, and we're ready to create from our heart, from our soul. We're ready for more of that. We're ready to utilize these opportunities that are around us in new ways as we stay open to, again, our creative abundance and the possibilities that we hold as we stay open to these other opportunities that are going to kind of come more and more into the foreground. And I recognize that I've been receiving these messages from other readers as well, that speak to this kind of optimism and opportunity. I've been seeing it in readings for myself, and then now here again, here it is right at the forefront of what I'm communicating to you. And I recognize that that's no accident, and that's also what happens when I tap into this collective energy, is that it's bigger than what I'm able to see from my human limited place, and it's bigger than even just me alone as tarot reader. I mean, this is big stuff. And yeah, so I hope that you all are having feeling some of this creative abundance, and also just the satisfaction of working with your own inherent creativity and recognizing the possibilities as they come along. Because I feel like I'm getting that from all sides, from all angles. New possibilities are about to enter the picture. So I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and if you're interested in supporting me further, please check out my Patreon. It's a wonderful way to support me and to support this channel through monthly donations. Can be as little as $1, or upwards of 10, 20, you know? And that is a structure that I'm building too, and that I've had a lot of success with. So yeah, thank you, patrons. And again, if you're interested, please check that out. And I will see you again soon. Bye for now.